Tonight, we now know one of the Canadians killed in the funicular crash in Portugal is from Ottawa.
He was kind to everyone. He was generous, respectful. He was a great husband. He loved Canada.
Remembered as the sweetest man, but family and friends wonder if the Canadian government could have done more to help after the crash. Taking aim at photo radar.
They should take out those cameras, all of them.
The Premier responding to vandalism of cameras in Toronto.
This is nothing but a tax grab.
Says all municipalities should scrap the program. And talking tough in Gananoque.
I wouldn't keep us away, but sure puts a bad taste in your mouth.
Town staff there asked to look into the possibility of clamping the tires of out-of-province vehicles when parking tickets are issued and passing along the extra cost to the drivers. Good evening. We're learning tonight that one of the Canadians killed in the deadly Lisbon funicular crash last week is from Ottawa. Aziz Ben Harif was on vacation with his wife when it happened. His heartbroken family feels the Canadian government should have done more. CTV's Katie Griffin is here with the details. Katie.
Patricia, Global Affairs Canada confirmed last week 2 Canadian citizens had been killed. A couple from Quebec died, but we now know only the husband was a citizen, his wife a permanent resident. Tonight we're learning the other Canadian citizen killed was from Orleans.
This is the last photo Hind Igurnan took with her husband Aziz Ben Harif.
He's one of the sweetest human being ever.
Ben Harif, a Canadian citizen originally from Morocco who lived in Ottawa, was killed in the deadly funicular crash in Lisbon last week. Igurnan, a permanent resident, was severely injured.
Very, very fast, like going in a highway, and everyone was screaming. It was very scary. It crashed. I didn't see him. I called him. I was calling Aziz, and he didn't answer.
She spoke with CTV News from a hospital in Lisbon, not wanting to appear on camera because of the extent of her injuries. She says it took days to learn her husband was among the dead.
When they took me to the hospital, I kept asking, and for like 2 nights, nobody knows.
Family back in Ottawa desperately trying to help.
And searching about the groups on Facebook, the Moroccan groups on Facebook, if someone can help us. And thanks of God, I found 2 guys from Algeria and another girl from Morocco. He checked his bike and he checked all the hospital around, 7 or 8.
It was shocking to all of us. We're still in shock.
Ayub Saja knew Ben Harif for more than 20 years.
He was the best of us, honestly. This is what I always say. An exemplary person, a very helping member of the community in Orleans.
They believe Canadian officials could have done more.
No, they took out the information that we had and they tried to get information, but we did not get any help from them. It was really frustrating because for the whole night we tried to find solutions from our own.
Global Affairs Canada says consular assistance is being provided to the families of the victims and that the government provides that assistance to Canadian citizens. For Igurnan, it's a tough road ahead.
He was kind to everyone. He was generous, hardworking, respectful. He was a great husband. He loved Canada and asked people to pray for him, for all the people and victims of the tragedy, and pray for us to stay strong.
She remains in hospital, and once cleared to fly, she'll go to Morocco, where her husband will be buried. Patricia?
CTV's Katie Griffin live for us tonight. Thank you. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the deadly funicular crash and on the victim from Orleans. Well, Ontario Premier Doug Ford is taking on one of the city's most controversial traffic calming measures. He's urging municipalities to get rid of photo radar cameras altogether, saying they're nothing but a tax grab. CTV's Steph Keys joins us now with the details on this. Steph.
Patricia, right now the city has 60 cameras and work is underway to install 24 new ones by the end of the year. But now Doug Ford is telling municipalities to not just halt the program, but to tear up any existing ones. Ford made the comments today after 16 cameras in Toronto were cut down and damaged overnight. In that city, more than 800 speed cameras have been vandalized so far this year. These latest incidents sparking a debate about the cameras themselves. For years, drivers across the province have pushed back against the program, and now the Premier is as well, saying he will take matters into his own hands if cities don't remove them.
They should take out those cameras, all of them. If you want to slow down traffic at school, you put the big, huge signs, big flashing lights, crossing area, people will slow down. This is nothing but a tax grab. I've driven by speed traps aren't even close to school areas. It's nothing but a tax grab. So, you know something? Hopefully the cities will get rid of them, like Mayor Del Duca did in Vaughan, or I'm going to help them get rid of them very shortly.
As the Premier mentioned, the city of Vaughan has temporarily paused fines from speed cameras after several acts of vandalism and complaints from residents. Here in Ottawa, people have mixed opinions on whether Ottawa should scrap the program.
No, I'm in favor of scrapping for sure. I've paid my price and I've slowed down. I know I heard the message, but I don't want to hear it anymore.
Well, you know, you can buy beer at the gas station now and you won't have to worry about speeding when you get home. So I guess the roads are a bit less safe.
There's some value to having those speed camera, in part that it brings revenue to the city, and the city that right now that we really need the money.
The city makes tens of millions of dollars a year in fines from cameras today. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe said they are an effective tool, but added the city is open to ideas and will work with the province on improving safety. The Ontario government, Liberal at the time, passed legislation in 2017 to allow municipalities to install photo radar cameras in community safety and school zones. And while it's still not exactly clear how the province could force cities to rip up existing cameras in their programs, we've just learned that Ford's government is doubling down. Ontario's transportation minister saying cities and towns need to get rid of them on their own, or they will take steps from Queen's Park to get it done when the provincial house returns in the fall. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Stefan Keys live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, an Eastern Ontario mayor wants to clamp down literally on parking violations. Gananoque Mayor John Beddoes wants bylaw officers to have the power to put boots on the tires of cars with out-of-province plates. All of this when they are issued a parking ticket. CTV's Austin Lee was in Gananoque today getting some reaction to this one, Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, the mayor is using the strong mayor powers to propose this idea of putting clamps or parking boots on cars from outside Ontario to make sure drivers pay their parking tickets. But it's a proposal that is receiving pushback.
It's an idea some are calling heavy-handed.
If it's like a $25 ticket, I think to lock up someone's wheels or their tires is a little excessive.
It's a little draconian, I think is the word.
Gananoque's mayor suggesting a move to allow bylaw officers to lock the tires of cars with license plates from outside Ontario when issuing a parking ticket.
Seems to be a lot to do about nothing. I wouldn't keep us away, but sure puts a bad taste in your mouth.
When an Ontario driver has unpaid parking violations, they can't renew their registration without being forced to pay up. But for those with license plates from outside Ontario, tickets issued in this province don't always show up when going through that process.
Is being strong-handed on what's probably less than $2,000 worth of unpaid parking tickets an issue? It probably isn't.
Mayor John Beddoes using the Strong Mayors Act, which was introduced by the Ford government in 2022 and extended to Gananoque this past May, to bring forward the proposal, arguing, quote, this by definition is an unfair system where the rules are only enforceable for residents of Ontario. But at least one town councillor says he doesn't expect this proposal to be implemented.
I think sometimes different solutions will come out of a problem that's there, and this might have just been one idea, one option that I fully expect it to get changed.
And Gananoque sees a lot of visitors from out of province, specifically Quebec.
We want to be accommodating to everybody who comes, regardless of what it says on their license plate.
Council and city staff are expected to go over the proposal at their next meeting on September 16th.
And this parking proposal was just one idea from the 27-point mayoral directive that was released at the end of August. Beddoes is calling it supplemental guidance for municipal staff when drafting the 2026 and 27 budgets. And despite our requests for comment, the mayor did not get back to us today. Patricia.
Would make for an interesting tourism brochure, that's for sure. Austin, thank you for this. CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. And we have more details on the proposal by Gananoqua's mayor to potentially clamp the tires on out-of-province vehicles with parking tickets. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. Still ahead, protesting about taking away their right to protest. Why these hospital workers don't like the idea of a bubble bylaw. That story coming up. Well, here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass sky cam. Beautiful September day out there in Ottawa today. 20 degrees right now. Maybe a nice evening for a little cruise down the Rideau Canal tonight. The CTV's Jackie Perez watching the weather from right near the water. Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, and the weather's looking fantastic right now. It's another gorgeous day in the capital with the sun shining through. We got a little bit of the heat this afternoon, and as the sun sets, the good news is we will continue to have dry, sunny conditions into the rest of the week. Right now, temperatures sitting between 20 and 22 degrees, not just for here in Ottawa, but pretty much for most of eastern Ontario. Later tonight, when the sun sets, temperatures will drop to about 17 degrees. So if you're out and about around 8 o'clock, you may want a light jacket to keep you warm. Tomorrow, we're going to cool start to the morning, 9 degrees to start off. But again, that sunshine will continue well throughout the evening. 24 the daytime high. And hey, we've got more sunshine on the way. We likely won't see any rain until the weekend. We will have these details for you in just a bit and for more from here on the canal. But for now, we'll take it back to you in studio.
Beautiful, thank you. Well, parents in Bell's Corners say student safety is taking a back seat. Some children in their neighborhood, as young as 8, are having to walk nearly half an hour to school and cross through a busy intersection to get to class. The students have to cross a 4-lane road at Moody Drive and Tyrrell Place on their way to Our Lady of Peace School. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Patricia, for some students in Bell's Corners, a new year doesn't just mean new classes. It also means a long walk across busy roads for kids as young as 8 years old. 8-year-old Owen used to take the bus to Our Lady of Peace Catholic School in Bell's Corners. But because he's now in grade 4 and lives just under 1.6 kilometers away, the cutoff for transportation, he no longer qualifies.
There's a lot of traffic on the streets in the morning. And then they want us to cross at Moody and Tyrrell, which is a 4-lane road. It just doesn't make sense to me.
It also means a 27-minute walk, including through this busy intersection on Moody Drive. But for his mother, Robin Richardson, it's less about the distance and more about the danger.
He'd be okay with it if I could walk him, but that's not practical with our life. He's very nervous to begin with. Responsible, I think I could trust him, but I can't trust everyone else driving on the road.
In a statement, the Ottawa Student Transportation Authority says it follows the provincial guidelines for school bus eligibility and routes are assessed for safety, saying the review determined that children in grades 1 to 3 who reside in the area require bus service, while students in grade 4 and above are able to cross safely with the support of traffic lights. But many parents disagree.
I've heard lots of people have fought and failed. I said we need to fight this as a community.
Sandra McGrath's daughter is in grade 1 and she's already joining the push for change.
It's a really dangerous road. As an adult, I don't feel safe crossing it. I could not imagine an 8-year-old crossing that road.
Even local politicians are weighing in. Liberal MPP Tyler Watt is asking OSTA for a reassessment, writing in a statement, no child should be expected to cross major roads like Moody Drive, calling it unsafe and unreasonable, especially in a city that experiences extreme weather. But for now, Owen and his family have no choice but to walk and hope the rules change.
I can't even leave my 8-year-old home alone. Why would I let him walk that far? It just doesn't make sense to me.
We also reached out to Councillor Lane Johnson. She says long-term traffic calming measures are planned for Moody Drive by the end of the year and plans to keep in contact with Watt's office to ensure student safety is prioritized. Patricia?
CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, a multi-million dollar settlement has been approved in a class action lawsuit against a former Ottawa doctor convicted of sexually assaulting patients. The lawsuit is against Dr. Vincent Nadon, who pleaded guilty in 2018 to 14 sexual assault and voyeurism charges involving 49 patients while he was working at the University of Ottawa Health Clinic. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison. The $21 million settlement was initially proposed in May and was approved yesterday. The claims process will begin early next year. Police are looking to identify 3 suspects in connection with a stabbing near Bayshore Shopping Centre. Emergency crews were called to Bayshore Drive around 4:15 Saturday afternoon. Police say there was a verbal altercation between 3 suspects and the victim before the victim was stabbed. The man was brought to hospital. He did not know the suspects prior to the altercation. Police have released these photos of the 3 suspects, who were all described as men between the ages of 18 to 25. Ottawa's Election Compliance Committee will not launch legal proceedings against Councillor Sean Menard after he underreported his 2022 campaign expenses. 2 years ago, someone filed a complaint against the Capital Ward councillor, saying he did not account for all the money he spent on campaign signs. Eventually, a judge ordered a compliance audit, which found he underreported the value of old election signs by $310, though he still did not exceed the expense limits. Today, the City Committee decided not to pursue any further legal proceedings. Well, Glebe residents are raising the volume of their frustration, holding a protest today over what they say is a noisy neighbor. The issue is the noise coming from the rooftop air conditioning unit at the Clemo, a 17-story senior living residence at the corner of Carling and Bronson. Residents say the air conditioner creates a loud and constant noise that can be heard in neighboring homes. They say despite dozens of complaints since spring, bylaw officers have failed to enforce city noise rules.
We've been listening to the noise emanating from this exposed HVAC system since early May, and no action has been taken.
We get a whirring noise in the evenings right throughout the day. It's constant, it doesn't stop. It's, well above the 45 dB limit at nighttime after 11 o'clock.
Bylaws recognizing that there are issues at nighttime with the violations associated with site plan. And these are issues that we need solved not just for now, but in the future. And other residents shouldn't have to deal with this in the future. The city's got to get these guidelines right.
The city says the noise is within the law. In a statement, the Clemo's owner says solutions are being finalized, calling it a priority and promising more details soon. Well, sweeping changes could soon be on the way for Ontario's education system. The provincial education minister says he's working on a plan to eliminate school board trustees. In a statement to CTV News, the Education Minister's office says the current governance structure is based on an outdated system that needs to be modernized. It goes on to say the government is not considering the elimination of school boards. Parents and advocates in Ottawa are reacting strongly to the news.
The ministry hasn't listened to us in many years, so it's hard to wrap your head around how without trustees we would be having somebody else who would all of a sudden step in and listen to us. If it weren't for trustees, we would have lost those 39 spec ed classrooms last year. They listened, and I think that we can safely say that happens across Ontario.
If that gets lost, then what is our education system actually? Isn't our education system really about civic engagement? That's, for a lot of us parents, that's the number one thing. We want for our kid to participate in society to their fullest extent. And if we lose the actual democratic component of our school board, then we've lost the number one thing.
Education Minister Paul Calandra says the new governance model will be unveiled before the end of the year. Massive explosions rocked Qatar this morning in an unprecedented attack. Israel calling it an assault against the senior leadership of Hamas, who used Doha as their headquarters. CTV's Adrian Gobriel has more on the shocking airstrikes.
Smoke paints the sky black on a dark day in Doha.
It certainly is an escalation of this war.
The deadly daylight air assault is believed to be Israel's first ever inside Qatar. This Hamas residence, now left with a gaping crater in the capital, is said to have been the target, just as the latest ceasefire proposal was being considered. Hamas says that 5 of its members were assassinated in the attack, including the son of exiled chief Halil al-Hayya. Though al-Hayya, seen here, who is believed to be the prime target, has survived, according to Hamas.
These are the same terrorists who planned, terrorist chiefs who planned, launched, and celebrated the horrific massacres of October 7th.
As Israel's prime minister took responsibility, the attack is sending shockwaves across the international community.
I condemn this flagrant violation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Qatar.
Britain's prime minister saying the priority must be an immediate ceasefire, the release of hostages, and a huge surge in aid into Gaza. In Israel, the families of hostages believe today's airstrikes may have sealed the fate of their loved ones.
Crushes the hopes of all of the families. It's just, it's devastating.
There were several days ago warnings from the Israeli Defense Forces Chief of Staff that Israel was going to start targeting Hamas's leaders no matter where in the world they might be.
Israel's air assault in Doha comes after Hamas's armed wing claimed responsibility for shooting and killing 6 people on Monday at this bus stop in the outskirts of Jerusalem. The latest escalation comes as Israel issued an evacuation order today for residents in Gaza City, with the IDF sharing its intentions for a full-scale operation. The military maneuver reportedly involved 15 Israeli fighter jets firing 10 separate airstrikes on one single target. Adrian Gober, CTV News, Toronto.
Well, meantime, some displaced Palestinians are fleeing Gaza City after Israel ordered that evacuation for the city ahead of a new offensive. Israel has warned that it will step up its military attacks in the territory if Hamas does not free the last hostages it holds. That order caused panic among residents who have been repeatedly uprooted during the war. Well, stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel at any hour.
We should have the right to stand up and protest and fight.
Still ahead, hospital workers upset about a new bylaw designed partially to protect them. They say it could, in fact, strip away their rights. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. We are looking at a different part of this Ottawa boat cruise, looking through the captain's chair. Tyler, you've been doing this for 3 years now. What is it that keeps you coming back each and every season?
Honestly, getting to be on a boat all day and getting paid for it is just the extra bonus.
Yeah, and the views are one not to be missed, especially this time of year as the sun is slowly going down. Let's take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, and not quite far from where we are, showcasing Lansdowne in TD Place. And again, the sun shining along downtown Ottawa.
Well, our popular Team of the Week segment is back. If you want to be a part of our Myers Automotive Group Team of the Week, upload your video to ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, the city's plan to restrict demonstrations around institutions such as schools and hospitals is now sparking protests. Healthcare workers are rallying against the proposed bubble zone bylaw, saying it would limit their right to protest. CTV's Dave Charbonneau reports.
We should have the right to stand up and protest and fight.
There's pushback to the city's plan to restrict where people can protest.
This is our one opportunity to really advocate on behalf of our patients safely.
Hospital staff like Jamie Lynn Hunt say the so-called bubble bylaw will put her rights and freedoms on the line.
It's always important to have the ability to speak up for what is right, and those rights and freedoms should not be in any way eroded.
The bylaw would ban demonstrations near schools, places of worship, and hospitals, which is often where healthcare workers protest.
Hospital workers were deemed essential, so we can't strike. So protests are really one of the only tools that we have to be able to bring attention to underfunding and healthcare.
The mayor supports the bylaw, but not all councillors agree.
Such a bylaw would prevent hospital workers from having the only legitimate access they have to protest. That had been one of my concerns. Some of my other concerns would be whether we already have laws on the books to restrict the kind of activity that the bubble bylaw would be seeking to perform. So let's use those laws.
This is the community's public health care system.
Legal experts also warn restricting protests could take away a basic tool unions use to push for change.
The right to strike is fundamental in a unionized environment. It's the ability to reach an impasse. You've seen it in like the current political environment. You see it at the sort of in the federal labor relations environment as well. It's the final tool for unions to be able to sort of effect meaningful change on behalf of their members.
And the city is now asking for feedback on the proposed changes. Staff are expected to present a report on the bubble bylaw to council in early 2026.
That everyone should have the right to protest.
Dave Charbonneau, CTV News.
Although the mornings are cool, the days are beautiful as this stretch of sunny weather continues. The sun shining over this trail in Stittsville today. The weather is expected to continue all week. Welcome news for the chipmunks soaking up the last of summer out there. Yeah, absolutely. We all love this. It does cool off into the evenings, though. Jackie is out on the water tonight. Is it starting to feel a little cooler out there, Jackie?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide, Patricia, if it's cool because we're moving along the water or is it cool because of the weather. But just like those squirrels, we want to soak up what's left of summer. We saw a daytime high today of about 23 degrees, feeling much warmer than what we saw yesterday. The wind slightly cooler than yesterday as well. Right now, 20 degrees. A reminder that the sun is setting at 7:24. So yeah, fall is slowly making its way here. And now overnight lows, we could really feel that too with single digit temperatures, 6 degrees for the overnight. And then tomorrow, daytime high, another daytime high of 23 degrees with some sunshine. So if you didn't get out on the cruise tonight or on the canal, or if you didn't get to the patio, you still have another day to do so. A closer look at the forecast for not just for Wednesday, but really into Thursday. Clear conditions, not much in terms of precipitation. It is the cooler weather that we are talking about for the overnight lows, those single digits. So 4 degrees really for most of eastern Ontario, slightly warmer for Kingston at 7 degrees, the daytime high. But really, the name of the game is sitting around 5 degrees for our overnight lows. Tomorrow's highs, though, back in the 20 degrees area, 24 for here in the capital, 23 for Bancroft as well as Kingston, and Montreal sitting around 21, 25 degrees. How do we compare to the rest of the country? Well, still cool temperatures in the Atlantic with temperatures averaging between 14 to 15 degrees, but not much in terms of rain or risk of thunderstorm either. That's the good news. We've got some warm weather as well in Sudbury, 18 degrees, 21 in Toronto, as well as Windsor sitting at 22 degrees. The warmest spots, though, in the country sitting in the prairies, 26 in Regina and Saskatoon. Edmonton and Calgary also sitting in the mid-20s. So, no, we're not going to quite hit 30 feeling like that, but we're still going to get really gorgeous weather for tomorrow and into the next week. Now, the weather is brought to you by Davidson's Hearing Aid Centers. Join them at the 55 Plus show at the EY Center September 12th and 13th. So Wednesday, here in Ottawa, the nicest day we're going to have for this week, 24 degrees, the daytime high. Then Thursday into Friday, we're going to be averaging temperatures around the 22-degree mark. It really isn't until Saturday evening into Sunday that we will likely see more rain enter into eastern Ontario. We Cook is Canada's leader in fresh, ready-to-eat meal delivery, and over the past 2 weeks, viewers have had the chance to enter a contest to win a one-year subscription, and we want to congratulate the winner, Sandra Mackey. Now, Sandra has won a one-year subscription valued at $4,000. Congratulations, Sandra. All right, well, that's it for now for our weather update for you guys here on the Ottawa Canal, hanging out with the Ottawa Boat Cruise as well. This is the Echo Boat Cruise. We will have more on these details and more from the lovely group behind this in just a bit. So stay tuned, Patricia.
Looks incredible. All right, Jackie, thank you. Coming up, it is the biggest day of the year for a tech giant. Apple unveils its new products, including the first ever iPhone Air. We'll share the details after the break. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. Residents in an eastern Ontario city are paying some of the highest rents in Canada. CTV Stephen Keys joins us now with the details on this and other stories. Steph?
Patricia, according to a new report, Kingston has the 5th highest average rent in Canada, and prices are rising faster in that city than anywhere else in the country, with costs up 15% year over year. The average cost to rent an apartment in Kingston was $2,336 last month. That's up nearly $300 from August 2024. Tenants in Kingston are paying even more than Ottawa renters, with the average rent in Ottawa $2,200 last month. Ottawa has the 9th highest rental rates in Canada. It was a hot summer for Ottawa's tourism sector. According to Ottawa Tourism, there was a 5% increase in hotel demand this summer compared to the same time last year. Visitor spending was also up 7%. Ottawa Tourism says several large events like Blues Fest, the Ironman race, and the Canadian Track and Field Championships led to a boost in visitors to the capital. A city committee has agreed to demolish one of Ottawa's heritage homes that was heavily damaged by fire last March. The stone home on Fernbank Road in Stittsville is known as the Llewellyn Jones House. It's named for the family who constructed it in 1886. The structure received heritage designation in 2016. The fire last March caused severe structural damage. City staff recommended approving an application to tear it down due to the risk of collapse. The Ottawa Public Library is looking to build, renovate, or relocate 18 branches across the city over the next 20 years. It's to address different branch demands and future growth needs. Among the branches on the list, Greenboro, Sunnyside on Bank Street, Barhaven, and Carlingwood. You can find a full list of affected branches and city recommendations on our website, ctvottawa.ca. It's always one of the most anticipated announcements in the tech world. Apple unveiling its new products today, including a new slimmer iPhone Air model, as well as an iPhone 17 and the latest upgrades to its flagship smartphone. The iPhone Air model is a star of the annual product launch event, and Apple says the model will be the most durable iPhone yet. Apple added that the base model iPhone 17 will have a brighter, more scratch-resistant screen. It is also said the device will feature a new processor chip, which will have improved capabilities for on-device artificial intelligence features. And the company also introduced a new version of its AirPods Pro wireless headphones and a blood pressure monitor in its latest Apple Watch. You saw the visuals there. And Patricia, I really just can't keep up with Apple. They are just on the move. I think I might still have an 11. And then I was like, oh, a 17. I'm well behind the upgrades.
And blood pressure? It stresses me out on the Apple Watch to even see your heart rate. Like, am I dying? It looks like I might be dying. This is not, you know, when you're working out? Not good. Anyway, I'll tell you what would be calming is a nice cruise down the Rideau Canal, which is what Jackie is doing tonight. Jackie?
Thanks so much, Patricia and Stefan. Yeah, it's very calming down here. The sun's slowly going down. I want to bring in Gabriella here. Just talk about just how beautiful and how unique it is to take a views in or the tour in for the Ottawa Canal.
We really get the best view of the city here from the canal. We're the only tour on the Rideau Canal, so you get this really unique perspective of the city, going through the city's highlights. We're right near Lansdowne Park right now, so especially this time of day, it's a beautiful, beautiful tour.
When we talk about just highlights, what is a favorite highlight for you that you like to show off to people visiting or seeing this for the first time?
Lansdowne Park is definitely a big one. Dow's Lake as well, one of the most beautiful spots on the tour today, so yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Gabriella. And again, the tour, not over yet. Just because summer is slowly coming to end, it doesn't mean these tours it's running until October. And to tell us more, we have Etienne, owner of not just the double-deckers that we see out here, but also for this. You talk about it's not just for tourism, it's also for residents as well, and for companies.
Yeah, absolutely. So people can take this tour as tourists and in their own city, but you can also rent the entire space and have your private events such as birthday parties, corporate events, and any such event all over here. There's a fully stocked bar right behind us. You'll see our worker in the back there. It's amazing. It's really amazing views.
Right. Such a unique way to say goodbye to summer, hang out with friends, and really take on the canal. We love seeing people on their bikes, running along the canal as well. And we are going to be turning around slowly once we get to Dow's Lake and on our way back. So the views are going to be absolutely breathtaking. But for now, we're going to take it back to you in studio. Patricia.
All right, Jackie, thank you.
Pretty much the customer service agent was just telling me too bad, so sad.
Well, coming up, customers of Scotiabank shocked after getting approved for credit cards only to have them canceled weeks later.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, CTV Morning Live, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, occasionally you may get offers from your bank stating you've been approved for a new credit card, loan, or line of credit. Some customers with one of Canada's major banks recently received credit card offers, but weeks after being approved, the cards were canceled without notice. CTV's Pat Foran has the details.
I was really happy when I saw it. They pre-approved me at $5,000 at first, which was really good.
Taylor Potter of Barrie says he was pleasantly surprised to get approved for a credit card for $5,000. It arrived in the mail from Scotiabank, but weeks later, his mother Victoria says the card quit working.
He goes down to the bank, and on his way down there, he went to go get gas. And his credit card was declined.
When Potter called the bank, he was told he never should have been issued the card in the first place.
They tried to tell me it was a glitch in their system and that they don't know what's going on.
I received on my online banking an offer from Scotiabank for a pre-approval of a line of credit.
Amanda Woodward of Newmarket had a line of credit approved for $7,500. She was buying clothes for her children to go back to school when her card was declined.
They told me that the card was given to me in error and that it should have never been offered or approved or activated.
When CTV News reached out to Scotiabank, a spokesperson said, "We can confirm some Scotiabank clients recently received an offer for a pre-approved Scotialine personal line of credit or credit card they were not eligible for. We understand the frustration this may have caused and sincerely apologize to those who received this offer in error." Potter was told the money charged to his card will now be treated like a higher interest cash advance.
They're also changing it from an interest rate to a cash advance, which I said, so how does that work out?
Woodward feels it's unfair to issue customers credit cards and then snatch them away.
Pretty much the customer service agent was just telling me too bad, so sad. Like it was given to hundreds of people in error and there's nothing we're going to do about it.
Scotiabank says the closure of the account should not impact the credit rating of affected bank customers. It says it's reaching out to clients to provide clarification as to what happened. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Cost of construction has gone up drastically, and the number of people that are out there looking to buy has gone down again drastically.
Well, just ahead, new data shows housing starts in Canada have reached a near 3-decade low in some parts of the country. Prime Minister Mark Carney is expected to make an announcement on housing in the next few days. It will come as new numbers show housing starts are at their lowest level in 30 years in one region where the need is the greatest. CTV's Mike LeCouture reports.
The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation says slowdowns in Vancouver and Toronto weighed on the overall number of housing starts, and there is a concern it could affect housing supply in the future.
Home building in Toronto fell to its lowest level on a per capita basis since 1996. According to a report from Canada's National Housing Agency, Vancouver also saw a drop in housing starts compared to the first half of last year.
There's this slowdown in activity that will potentially recreate kind of those issues in terms of pressures on prices, pressures on rents.
The CMHC says pre-construction sales are slumping by double digits in Toronto, which is forcing developers to delay project launches in a city that is in desperate need of new homes.
The cost of construction has gone up drastically, and the number of people that are out there looking to buy has gone down again drastically as well.
A near record pace of apartment construction in Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Ottawa, and Halifax helped offset the sluggish numbers in Vancouver and Toronto. Developers believe cities could see even more growth without municipal development charges, which help pay for roads and sewers.
We need to be able to reduce that for, even if it means just completely eliminating it for a good period of time so that our industry can pick up.
Red tape is another complaint, which Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre would reduce with a suite of measures.
Get rid of the sales tax, cut the development charges in half, speed up the permits, zero tax on reinvested gains.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Housing Minister Gregor Robertson said the government is going to build homes at a pace and scale not seen in generations, pointing to a yet-to-be-announced program called Build Canada Homes. However, there are still no details on the measures the Liberals intend to implement. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, coming up, a whale of a tale involving an extensive rescue effort to free a young whale entangled in fishing gear. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. I'm talking to my friend Jacob here, and he says that there is a signature cocktail that you need when you are on this boat cruise. What is it?
Exactly. It's called the Eco Breeze. I can't tell you any ingredients. Y'all just need to come and try it.
You're going to tell us one?
We have melon liquor, which is, give it the green color, is assorted to our outfit.
I love that. Thank you so much. As the sun slowly sets, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. It's 20 degrees. The camera overlooking Sussex Drive.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, the #1 Ford EV dealer in Ontario.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Well, here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
He's one of the sweetest human being ever.
We are learning tonight an Orleans man is among those killed in last week's funicular crash in Lisbon that left 16 people dead.
There's a lot of traffic on the streets in the morning, and then they want us to cross at Moody and Tyrrell, which is a 4-lane road.
Parents in Bell's Corners do not like a policy that makes students walk a route that takes them through a very busy intersection, saying it raises safety concerns on a daily basis.
Is being strong-handed on what's probably less than $2,000 worth of unpaid parking tickets an issue? It probably isn't.
The mayor of Gananoque has a controversial proposal to allow bylaw officers to clamp the tires of vehicles with out-of-province plates which have received a parking ticket. One final look at the forecast. Back out to the lovely Rideau Canal and Jackie.
Now, we've been enjoying this tour of Ottawa along the canal, and gorgeous evening for this night if you want to take a stroll. And then tomorrow, as we look towards our wake-up conditions, you definitely want to bring a jacket because we are still at single digits starting off the day at 9 degrees. And then we're going to get to a daytime high of about 24, so the nicest day of the week. The sunshine really going to carry on. So again, if you had a chance to check out a patio, hit up the canal, you have the next few days to do so. But for now, we're going to take a look at these gorgeous view and enjoy the sunset from here. Stefan, Patricia, we'll take it to you in studio.
Another tough gig for Jackie tonight.
I know, right?
Good stuff, Jackie. Thank you. Enjoy it while we can, right? We want to check in and see what our team is working on for the 11:30. Steph will be on the desk tonight.
I will be Patricia. Patricia, we reported on it earlier, but now that the Premier is making it clear he is not simply delivering political lip service on the speed camera conversation, we'll be taking a closer look at that tonight because Ford wants them gone. The mayor of Ottawa seems open to review, though he defended the benefits. And on News Talk 580 CFRA, the phones have been ringing off the hook with opinion. Now we know for certain the Ontario government wants them gone and will look at a formal way to do so when they start sitting this fall. That came out this afternoon from Ontario's Transportation Minister as they implicitly question the ethics and effectiveness of having them when they describe it as a money grab. Get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join us tonight for CTV News at 11:30. Patricia?
Will do, Steph. Thank you very much. And finally for us tonight, it took 3 days and multiple crews, but a humpback whale tangled up in fishing gear off the coast of northern Vancouver Island is finally free. The rescue began last Thursday when Tutu, the 5-year-old whale, was spotted caught in more than 150 meters of prawning gear. Now, fishery officers managed to find the whale and attach a satellite tracking device to it. That allowed crews to follow Tutu for the next 2 days and slowly cut away the gear. By Saturday, rescuers reported the whale was free. Beautiful shots, too. I'm taking all of that in. But amazing that they were able to do that and make that happen for this poor creature, right?
Yes.
Tortured if humans were not able to come to their aid. Humans creating the problem in the first place,
and
of
then
course. Yeah.
fixing it.
Yeah.
I always love a happy ending.
Yeah, absolutely. Free Willy. It's a good ending in that one, wasn't there? Eventually, right?
We got there.
Some of the emotional layers in that movie. That is all the time we have. Thank you so much for being here. Steph, of course, will be with you at 11:30 tonight, and we'll talk to you here again tomorrow. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Amazing Race Canada tonight, by the way.
Yeah, and put on a jacket because it's cold and I was leaving work at midnight. Yeah, it really was.